Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I'm sitting in the parking lot of the post office. I have my Diet Pepsi. I do not feel very well. My stomach has hurt. It's like the last 2 days. I've been trying to eat a little bit better, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I've also been getting my caffeine like late in the day. Well, yesterday I didn't even have any until later. And then that was when I got the coffee at McDonald's. And today I didn't get any coffee until it was like 4:30, almost 5, because I was doing, was that when I did it? I did my review of Dunkin' Donuts, and it was at like 4:30 or 5, somewhere in there. And so, I had a horrible headache all day. I just haven't felt great today. But I honestly think it has to do with the fact that I've been trying to, you know, like eat a little bit healthier. Not much, but just a little bit. And, just doing some things, and I think that has something to do with my stomach hurting. Oh, I didn't get my lip gloss out. I want my lip gloss. So, kind of depending on how I feel, like sitting here right now, like I pulled over and I was like listening to some music, and I pulled into the post office because a friend of mine called or texted me, and then I called her back. And so I was talking to her in here, and depending on how I feel will have to do with how long I vlog for. I left the house and I told Alex, I said, I'm gonna like listen to some music, and because I wasn't feeling great. And it's just been like all day. I don't know what it is. And I very rarely ever feel sick, so when it's just a little bit, it kind of catches me off guard. So, I want to say thank you to everybody that gave me the links for everything going on. I really don't think at this point, unless something would drastically change, that Alex and I probably, I don't know. Unless something would drastically change and they would say it's really safe to travel and you can go here and go there, I don't really think we're probably going to travel anywhere in the near future. So we've kind of made that decision. Wanting to go somewhere and needing to go somewhere are two completely different things. You know what I mean? Like, I really would like to get out of here. And I'm sure most people would like to go on a trip right now, but wanting to and needing to are two completely different things, and I don't have a need to, obviously. So, I mean, I don't need to travel for work or anything, so, we'll just kind of stay around and whatnot, and, hope and pray that things get better for everyone. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. But I appreciate everybody sending me the links and the resources to like look up stuff. And I was reading about like the states that like their rates are increasing, and Indiana's rates and things like that. So I really, really appreciate it. It's been a good day. I got up and I did some stuff around the house. I had a massive, massive, massive headache. And this is what's so weird about it is that they're not, like, and I didn't really, like, I only had kind of like a medium coffee last night or whatever that was from McDonald's. So it wasn't like a lot of caffeine. And I think that was all the caffeine I drank. Didn't I just have a bottle or just a cup of water last night? So I woke up today and I don't know if it was because of that, but it was like the same kind of headache. And it's like, it's here and here. It's here and here. It's not like my migraines that I get, because I get my migraines like right here in the front of my head. And they're related to barometric pressure. And so it's bad. These headaches that I've been having the last 2 days. And I don't know, maybe it's related to, like, I'm not drinking as much coffee as I usually do. I have no idea. I did get a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts today. I got a large coffee, and after I started drinking it, it started a little bit going away, but I took some Aleve too, so I don't know if it's from the Aleve or if it was from the coffee. But I went to go get my hair cut today, and, like, when she was shampooing my hair, I just was like, I don't know, it just felt so good on my head. Like, my head has hurt so bad, and she was kind of like, just like, and so, yeah, I went and got my hair cut, and, so I took a shower and tried to look nice and presentable to go get my hair cut. She was like, you don't have a hat on today. I was like, I know. So, I kept on feeling these shorts, and I was like, these shorts, like, have I been wearing these jean shorts so much that they're kind of like worn out, but they're not the jean shorts. They're like my sweat shorts. So of course they feel worn out. I went and got my hair cut, and then, I feel bad for all of them having to, like, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that are standing on their feet all day long, wearing masks all day long, all this kind of stuff. So when I go in to get my hair cut, you have to answer all these questions, and then they take your temperature through your forehead, and then, you have to wear a mask to come inside, and then there's, you know, they've got all kinds of stuff on, and there's all, you know, plexiglass in front of the, you know, where you pay and all that kind of stuff. But, so anyway, I did that, and then I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and I did a review of these refresher drinks that they have, that I just reviewed kind of the same thing on Starbucks, but it was like lemonade refreshers or something. And then what did I do after that? Oh, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone. That we talked for a long time on the phone today. So I was kind of like driving around talking to her. And then Alex was on his way home from work, and he thought he had this birthday thing that he was going to go to tonight. His friend, she was having like 6 friends over for like a little birthday gathering. But I guess it's tomorrow instead, so he said he's gonna maybe go to that tomorrow instead. I don't know. So that was that, and then he sat at home and he was watching Dead Like Me, and I was trying to get this video up that I filmed this video after I got home. That's what I did. He was upstairs, like, working on some stuff on his computer in the bed, and so I sat down and I made a booktube video, and I made a drama video, and both of them were, well, the booktube video didn't take as long as the drama video, but the drama video was taking forever to upload. I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There just really isn't. And so then I uploaded it through my phone, and I didn't even get it up until like 10:30. Like, I didn't even get the video up until like 10:30 or 10 or 10:30 or something like that. So I sat outside in the patio, but then my neighbors, not the couple, the girl next door and her new roommate, they were sitting outside on the patio with like a friend, and they were kind of talking loud, and I could kind of hear them, and I felt like I was kind of intruding in the conversation because I was just sitting there, so I just went inside. And I was trying to get a hold of Tanya, because Tanya's back in town. I don't know what time she got back in town today. She'd call me, and then I wouldn't get it, and I'd call her back, and she wouldn't answer, so we went back and forth like she called me twice, and I called her twice. So we never got to talk to each other. I'm sure she's exhausted, driving back all the way from Tennessee and putting all of her stuff away and stuff. And I think that her son came up here and is visiting, like staying through the weekend or something. So I'm gonna try to go over and see him sometime this weekend. Because he's kind of like my nephew. Like, I mean, I've known him since he was, 4. He grew up around me. He calls me Uncle Peter, so, and yeah, and that's about it. I'm so proud of him. He just graduated from college, double major, straight A's. I mean, like, magna cum laude, like, A+ across the board. Former Marine. I'm just very proud of him. And, yeah, let's what? I don't know. That was it. And then I was gonna lay down, and because of my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay down and take a nap for a little bit because my head is hurting so bad. But then I was like, I'm gonna go vlog now, and then maybe listen to my audiobook for like 20-30 minutes. I don't have the attention span to listen to a lot of it tonight. I really want to finish 13 Reasons Why. I still have not finished that last hour, you guys. I kind of watched so much of it that a lot happens in the last episode in the first half an hour. I just kind of was like so worn out by it that I was like, okay, like, I don't know. like, I don't even know that I want to see I do want to see the last hour because I want to find out what happened, but I'm also kind of just like, it is what it is. You know, at this point, I'm kind of just like over it. Like, honestly, if I never found out, I would be completely fine, but I do want to see them graduate and stuff, and I think that's what the end of the last episode is about, is like their graduation, and I'm sure something horrific happens because the whole show is about horrific stuff happening. So yeah, and then Mel kept on texting me yesterday and today. She's like, you've got to do the announcement video. You've got to do the July announcement video for the book. So I did the announcement video for our book club today, a true crime book club. If you'd like to join it, it's linked below. Look at my hair. I got my hair cut today. Hello. And the book that we are reading for the month of July is called Deviant, and it's by Harold Schechter. And it's about Ed Gein. And I don't know anything about Ed Gein other than he was the one that like wore people's skins. And it was like they modeled Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre after him. So the thing was, we wanted to read about Jeffrey Dahmer for the month of June. Well, so for July. We've been wanting to, for a couple months now, read a book about Jeffrey Dahmer, but there's not a lot of really great books about Jeffrey Dahmer out. They're all like really short. The audio versions are like an hour and a half to 3 hours long, or a little bit over 3 hours, which is kind of surprising, you know, with a lot of these people. Like Son of Sam, there's not a great book about the Son of Sam, which is really weird to me. And yeah, so I also have another, we know what we're going to do for the month of August, but it might change because I found another book that I haven't talked to Mel about yet, but I want to talk to her about because it looks really good. It looks really interesting, and I know absolutely nothing about this person. I never even heard of this person. So, which was how it was with Israel Keyes, going into the Israel Keyes American Predator book, and that book was just so interesting. And that's also how it was with the Golden State Killer. Like, I didn't know anything about the Golden State Killer, who, by the way, did you just hear that he agreed to plead guilty to all of the things or something like that? I don't know what that's about. I need to read some articles about it. But I do know that next week, so my birthday is on Monday, so it'll be Sunday. Next Sunday, I guess, on HBO or Netflix, I think it's HBO, is The Golden State Killer, and it's like a 6-part series that's coming out, and it all follows the Michelle McNamara book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. One woman was obsessed, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, I don't know why I can never say this. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, one woman's obsessed, I can't say it. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, one woman's obsessive search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara, and intro by Gillian Flynn. It's good though. That's a good book. If you've never read I'll Be Gone in the Dark, it is terrifying. You should read it. Like, I was scared listening to it. I listened to it on Audible, of course, but so yeah, so we're gonna read about Ed Gein, and then we're gonna try to do like a watch party. My stomach's starting to like really hurt. I feel nauseous. Like, I don't ever feel this way. I don't ever feel nauseous. I almost kind of wonder if I ate something bad, but like, food poisoning's gone within like 24 hours, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't still feel this way. But anyway, so we're gonna try to do a watch party of like Psycho. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, and I'm laughing because of, I'll tell you in a second. The original and the remake, I think, are both terrifying, but very good too, if you like horror movies. But the third episode of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when that girl gets away and she's on the back of the pickup truck, and the guy's like hanging on the one family member, and he's like, I have to edit this out for the vlog, but he's like, he says something to her, and he's like, how's a city girl like you gonna shoot a big gun like that, or something like that? And she says, pretty GD good, you something Woods MFer. And then she shoots and kills him. And it's probably one of the best scenes, like that line, of any horror movie I've ever seen in my entire life. So anyway, yeah. But I'm excited about reading that because I don't know really anything about that. And I'm excited about the Golden State Killer documentary. I think it's just called The Golden State Killer. Now that I'm talking about all this, I'm starting to get creeped out, see. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I did. And then Alex was watching Dead Like Me. He was real excited because he watches this show called The Politician on Netflix. He thinks it's fantastic. He's like, it's so well done. He's like, you would love it. It's so brilliantly written and stuff. And so, because he knows I like shows that are like really in-depth and whatever. I guess it just came out with the second season and Bette Midler is in it because he was watching the trailer for it. And so he was like trying to finish Dead Like Me so that he can watch The Politician because I was like, well, you're still not gonna watch, because I've been like dying to talk to him about 13 Reasons Why. And he's like, don't tell me anything. He's like, don't ruin it for me, because I just want to like say like it's, you know, I can't say, I'm not even allowed to say like it's so good, or I'm not allowed to say anything about it. Because he's like, I know how you are, you'll start talking and you'll ruin it for me. And I'm like, no, I just want to talk about it. He goes, well, let me watch it first and then we can talk about it. I'm like, okay, could you watch it then? Because he literally can finish a series in like a day. And it's 10 episodes, so he would probably have that. I think it's 10 episodes. Yeah. The last episode's an hour and like 37 minutes. But he could have it done in like a day and a half. So, plans are still on for his birthday weekend on Sunday. But he said it's supposed to thunderstorm on Sunday, but I haven't seen, I didn't look at the weather. I guess I should. I told him I would look at it earlier. I don't know why when he already looked at it, but I kind of wanted to see for myself. And I was like, well, what's your plan B? And he was like, I don't have a plan B, and I don't really care if I schedule something or anything. So I'm like, okay. And, is there somebody standing? No, it's a mailbox. I was like, is somebody standing out there with like a glow-in-the-dark jacket on? Anyway, and then Monday, he is doing like a girls' dinner with a couple friends of his for his birthday. And then I think he said something about Wednesday night, like a friend of ours that he used to work with. She was like one of the couples that we went to. They're real close. They haven't seen each other since like, well, they did some Zoom calls, but I don't think he's seen her since like February. And she's like one of the couples that we went to Dallas with. So he's supposed to have dinner with her on Wednesday night. And he was like, well, if you want to come. I'm like, okay, we'll see. So, but like on Monday night, his girlfriends were it's like just this group of girls, and they're taking him out to dinner. Like, I'm not close with these girls. They're taking him out to dinner and stuff on Monday night. So he'll have fun doing that. Oh, you know what? Monday night I have my literature meeting anyway. And we didn't, I told this story. We didn't have it last week because my friend couldn't get her Wi-Fi. Like, her husband had like switched to Wi-Fi and he couldn't get his Wi-Fi together. And so we had to not have it last week. But I had texted Tanya and I was like, I'm so tired. And I said, I wish we didn't have it tonight. She's like, yeah, but it'll be good for both of us. And then as soon as it like got canceled, like 5 minutes later, I texted her and I was like, there is a God. Boo Radley and Tucker were good all day today. And they ran around the house. And they ate all their dinner. But Boo's been really good about eating his dinner recently. Like, you know, we had those couple days where I was like really worried about him, but now he's just like eating. Oh my God, I'm giving him like 3/4 of a can, and he is like totally eating all of it. Makes me so happy. After he eats, I text Alex and I'm like, Boo ate all of his food, and he's like, yay for Boo. And it's so funny because I'll like run down the stairs to get the plate, you know, when he's done. And I'm like, come on, Boo. I'm like, and I'll say, did you eat all your dinner? And he'll look at me like, and then he runs down there like he wants to show it off. And he'll stand in the crate, like just stand there by his plate and look up at me. And I'm like, good boy, good boy. And his tail wags and he gets all excited about it. And I'm like, good boy, you ate all your dinner. So I think he kind of like weirdly understands. Do you think that's weird? I don't know. I think he kind of weirdly understands. I don't know. But makes you wonder like what dogs think, you know. he's been just a little doll baby lately well, he and Tucker both. When I've come in to go to bed, they've been just little doll babies. Last night it was so funny because I snuck into bed and I got, like, usually, like, when I come in the door, the dogs start, like, barking like crazy. And, but today, or last night when I came in, like, I didn't hear anything, and I was like, did Alex put them in their crate? Like, they have not slept in their crate, like, once, since PP has passed away. Not one, I don't think one time they have. Maybe once, but I don't think so. And there's all these just random cars in this parking lot out here. This is weird. So anyway, I'm gonna go over here and look at the donations box. It's like so packed that people have clothes. Yeah, it's like, is it overflowing? It looks like it is. They have their clothes outside. I also think, like, maybe my eyes have been hurting a lot. This could be from my head. This could be what my headaches are from. Because I use reading glasses now. Have you guys seen me in my reading glasses? I wear reading glasses literally, like, every time I'm in front of the and see, it's like, as soon as I take them off, my eyes adjust. Like, they readjust. And it kind of hurts first. It doesn't hurt. I don't know how to explain it. If you wear reading glasses, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it, like, kind of pulls in. And see, it does. It kind of hurts, like, right here. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe I'm getting headaches from the reading glasses because I've been wearing them for, you know, sitting in front of the computer, editing videos. Anytime I'm in front of the computer, I'm wearing my reading glasses now. When I'm reading, like, you know, whatever, I'm wearing my reading glasses. And I've probably, in the last month, I would say I probably tripled the amount of time that I wear. Yeah, I was gonna say doubled, but I doubled or tripled the amount of time that I wear reading glasses. And so I wonder if it's maybe making my eyes strain, which is giving me the headaches. That could be. I don't know. So let's go in here and see what the weather is like for Sunday. Tomorrow is Saturday. I don't think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, 90 degrees. With 10% chance of rain, cloudy. Sunday is, it's 84 on Sunday. Well, I mean, it's still nice, but variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High, 84 degrees, wind southwest at 10. A few clouds, stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. But, you know, that could all, I told Alex and I said that could all change. Monday, it's supposed to be thunderstorms. What's it going to be like on my birthday? Let's see. '87, sun and clouds mixed with a slight chance of thunderstorms during the afternoon. What's the day before? 86, partly cloudy. Dream. Dream, dream, dream when I love you. Hold on a second. My back is itching. I don't know why. It always feels so good to get my hair cut. I know that sounds corny, but it's like it does. I should go through here and answer some questions from the vlog. I actually looked through them last night. I was like, there's some questions I wanted to answer. Okay. I haven't done this in a while, so let's go through here and look at some of the comments. Okay. It's kind of like a driveway vlog. I don't want to have to put on my reading glasses. So Vicky said, Peter, I honestly think travel plans should be on hold until next year at least. It's just not a good time to travel, period. Even if things are open, it's only because places value profit over public safety. It's just not safe right now. That's what we're talking about. I mean, I appreciate all the comments. There was a lot of comments about the travel on there. And, you know, it was really a night of me just really like, you know, I spend probably 80% of my time at home, which I love my home, you know, but I spend 80%. I mean, Alex, he goes out to dinner and he does stuff like, and I'm always invited to do that, but I just, you know, I'd rather just stay at home. I say that, but then it's like, I want to get, I mean, I'm contradicting myself, but like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to go do things either. But like, I mean, he's just started to recently go do stuff, you know, but it's like I spend so much of my time at home that it's like for me to get away is to like go to, like, I have to go on a trip to do that, you know? And like, so I think that that's my thinking, and it's just old thinking that I've had. Like, I want to get away, I want to go somewhere, blah, 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 whatever, you know? And the reality is we don't need to travel right now, and I'm going to wait until things are really safe, if they ever get safe again to go, you know? So, yeah. Okay. Melissa said, I'm so sorry about your headache. 1 million subscribers said, I laughed so hard at Sunday. Peter, wow, your headache really has your brain going all over the place. The amount of stories tonight were entertaining. You guys, I'm having a hard time reading some of these. Stumpy Shine said, pecan pie cheesecake. Sorry, you sent me on a sidetrack. The pecan, I reviewed that on my review channel. It is delicious. Tin Roof Sundae. Okay, thank you, Marie. Hey, Annie. Annie left a blue heart. Tin Roof Sundae Eskimo pie. Thank you, Holly. I get so many things tonight from people saying that, like, you haven't uploaded all day, you haven't uploaded all day. Like, I started, because my vlog usually goes up early now. Okay, so this is what happened. Was it last night? I thought I uploaded my vlog early last night. No, it wasn't. I just was like, I didn't do it when I got home. I just was like, I haven't done this in forever. I think, like, you know, when we were stuck at home with the COVID is when I started just like, I want to make sure this doesn't lock out, was when I started going inside and just, you know, doing what do you call it? So I like uploading the vlog and then like rendering it and then uploading it while I slept. Like I would render it and then I would come back out to my car and listen to my audiobook and then I would upload it. And so I did that for so long that last night when I came home, I did it like I used to do it, which is I just put my camera on the counter and I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. And then when I got up today, it was like this whole long process. Oh, this is the other thing. Before I went to go get my haircut, so that was what I did. I tried to render my vlog. So I uploaded my vlog while I was going to get my haircut. And when I came home, none of it was uploaded. And it was because like I uploaded the video before it was completed. Like I thought it was completed because it said it, like it showed that it was done, but it like hadn't come. If you use iMovie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it hadn't come across at the top where it said like shared movie is complete or something like that. So that's why I got the vlog up so late tonight. But thank you for being concerned. I don't know what that comment means. I'm just kind of reading through these. Maricela said, my mom loved ice cream sandwiches too, especially the ones with Neapolitan ice cream. Oh, I forgot about those. My mom just liked the old-fashioned ones. One treat we liked back in the day was lemon meringue pie ice cream with graham cracker crust. I've never had that. And then pour chocolate hard shell over it, sweet and tart. I too remember catalog wish list books, Sears and Macy's. I would first go through and circle all the ones, all that I liked, and then would go back and write down the ones I loved. Okay, that hasn't happened in a while. I was reading a comment and it just stopped on me and I looked up and I didn't realize it. So Mama Oz said, yay, just in time for my head is killing me. Just in time for, okay, Mama Oz said, yay, just in time for my bedtime. Don't know if you saw my message yesterday, but Alex and I share birthdays. I'm just a few years older than him, LOL. And Charlotte responded and said, happy birthday, Mama Oz, and enjoy the vlog while you're settling in for sleep. Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Mama Oz. Tammy left little heart faces. Hey, Tammy. Okay, Tonka said, if you haven't seen it, watch Anne with an E on Netflix. Love it and love you. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you. I've had so many people tell me to watch Anne with an E. So back in the day, I was kind of weirdly obsessed with it. Did you see the PBS movie, Anne of Green Gables? I think it was PBS or something like that. And it was like a 2 VCR tape set. I had it when I was like growing up. I don't know, like junior high or something like that. But I wanted to go to Prince Edward Island so bad. Who was I just talking to the other day? Oh God, where were we? Alex and I were just talking to someone the other day. Who was I talking to? Like, I can see the conversation in my head, but I can't see who was there. Maybe it wasn't Alex. Maybe it was my neighbors. I feel like it was my neighbors. It was, okay, so my neighbors were telling me that they have a trip planned later this summer to go to Mackinac Island, where the Grand Hotel is. And so I told them that they should watch the movie Somewhere in Time, because they had never seen it, with Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour. It was one of my all-time favorite movies when I was growing up as a kid. Okay, and it's about time travel, and Jane Seymour is like this old woman, and, well, this old woman comes to Christopher Reeves while he's like doing this play, and in like New York City or something, and she's like, come back to me. And so like he travels in time back to, so anyway, it's supposedly a time travel movie. It's very good. I thought it was very good. So anyway, but they rented it on Amazon Prime, and I felt so bad because it was like $2.99 to rent, and they hated it. Oh my God, they hated it. She said she wanted her hour and a half back. But I said, I know, I just wanted you to see it because of the Grand Hotel, because the Grand Hotel is there. And so we were talking about the Grand Hotel, and I think I just stayed there one time. Like, we went there with like my mom and my dad and I, so it must have been when I was really little. But I can remember even as a little kid, like wearing a tie to go out to dinner, and like they had I remember the pool for some reason, and it was like this really old-fashioned pool that was like really huge, but it was like all like white painted, and then it had like bars in it or something. I don't know how I remember that. But if Mackinac Island is this island in Michigan that you have to take the ferry to, and it's very grand, and they have this hotel in there. You can just Google it. It's called the Grand Hotel. Everybody, like, you know, if you go there, that's like what it's famous for, that and fudge shops. And there's no cars on the island. You have to, like, they have horse-drawn buggy. I don't know if they still have that. I think they do. Horse-drawn carriages, which I'm not real for that as a vegetarian, but it is what it is. And when I was a kid, I was obsessed with it, like in Chicago and stuff. And then they have like the greatest fudge in the entire world, and saltwater taffy and all this kind of stuff. But you walk everywhere and you take like bikes and things like that, because she told me that they can't even take motorized bikes on it. And my stomach's like starting to kick again. Oh God. I don't know, maybe it's not good for me just to sit in one place. Maybe that's what it is. I literally feel nauseous. So we were talking about that. I think that's how it came up. And he told me that he and his son went to Prince Edward Island, and they loved the movie Anne of Green Gables. And they went and saw like all the stuff. I think we were talking about it, and he said he watched a show about it. He loves Anne with the E, and that there's 3 seasons, but it ended. And I said, well, it just got canceled. He goes, yeah, but the 3 seasons are good. You'll like them. And anyway, she said she didn't go to Prince Edward Island. It was just him and his son. I think it was them. I can't think of anybody else I've talked to recently, so it must have been them. Charlotte said, I was getting worried about you, Peter. Much love to you, Alex, the pups, and our wolf pack. I hope I posted my other videos. I'll have to look in a second. Sammy said, you're late, dear. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my God, I have to get my video up. See, I was posting it early and people were like, oh my God, you're posting your vlog so early. And now that I've posted it later, it's like 1 second my stomach hurts and the next second I'm completely fine and laughing. It's like, what is going on with me tonight? God. Nancy said, does anyone else panic when Peter doesn't post a vlog at the regular time? Let's see what people said. Yes, said Charlotte. Cherie said, you bet. I keep checking every half hour. Yes, I'm posting it like tomorrow as soon as I get up, which if it's at 2, then you'll know I got up at 2. Oh my God, 4th comment, I never miss a vlog. Sean said, she never comments. She always just puts like a blue heart or something like that. Hey, Sean. She said, I was getting worried about you, Peter. So glad to see you. Charlotte said I was too. Costa said same. I keep refreshing his channels for any new video glad he uploaded. Charlotte said I even checked the comments on yesterday's vlog. I wonder if he's been really suffering with his headache. And Caitlin said hi Sean, I share your sentiments. Hope you have the best weekend. Okay, now I am gonna post my vlog on Sunday, but because it's Alex's birthday, unless like I pre-film it or I take just 20 minutes out to film a video on my other channel, I may just take off Sunday from posting videos on my other channel. So I just want you guys to know that. So you don't worry about that. But I will be posting my vlog on Sunday, so that will be done. Okay, and let's see. Oh, Jackie said, love your vlogs. They make me feel less lonely. Thanks, Peter. Thank you so much. So many people commented about Tanya's tone and tan. She should have started it then. I have never seen 6 Feet Under, Bailey. So many people have told me to watch it. Party at the Moon Tower. I love that name. You comment on my videos a lot. I don't know if it's a he or she, but said, oh my God, Jumping Jack Flash. Haven't seen that in years. Going to have to look for that. When was this? Did I talk about Jumping Jack Flash? Was that one of the movie? I love that movie. If you've never seen it, it's with Whoopi Goldberg, and she like works with this guy who's like, I think he's like a spy or something, and she's on like a computer here in the United States. It's very good. Joanne said, Peter, I know the plastic barks are comfortable, but yes, break your other ones and you'll never go back, trust me. Well, I mean, I've worn Birkenstocks since I was like 17 years old. I think I got my first pair when I was visiting my friend in Mesa, Arizona. And I went to this shop. It was like, we couldn't get them in Indiana. Like, you had to go out of other places that had them, you know? And they had like this walking shop in like College Mall or whatever that's called over there. I remember there was this like coffee place we went to too, but it was like College Road or something like that. And I got a pair, and I got green suede Birkenstocks, 2 straps, and I wore socks with them. I loved them. I was so excited about them. I remember I went to this party with my friend. That's kind of funny looking back like on this. Like, that was kind of like my first... Was my friend... Did we graduate that year I visited him? Or was it the year before? It was the year before. So I was gonna be going into my senior year. Yeah, because I wore them my senior year in high school. And I went to this party with my friend. Here, I'll just drive and talk about this for a little bit. There was something I wanted to say on here. Hold on a second, I gotta look it up. So my aunt, my dad's sister that I used to go visit her and her husband, and my cousin that lives in Indianapolis now, my other cousin still lives in Fort Wayne, she texted me and she said, I listen to you sometimes, have caught some of your vlogs, enjoy what I've heard, she said, would like to hear about your times in Fort Wayne, planning your corn and going to the state fair, etc. And I was like, so I need to talk about that on here sometime because I didn't know she was listening to my vlogs. But anyway, those were some of my best years ever. I spent probably 4 summers, maybe like 5, 6, 7, and 8 in Fort Wayne, I think. With them, and I would stay with them for like a week, and I always stayed with them during it used to be the clay court. Well, maybe I stayed with them more years than that, I don't know, but I always stayed with them during because around 9 or 10 I actually became a ball boy for the clay courts, which then turned into becoming, it was the clay courts then, but it was the RCA tennis championships down the road. It became that. But my dad and his partner always got box seats, and so even though my dad and my mom were divorced at that point or separated for some of it, like he would still give her like days that she could go. Well, also my dad's partner's wife and my mom were best friends back then, so they would go together. And so like, you know, because it was like both, it was my dad's box and his box, so like they had like 4 seats or 6 seats or something like that in a box, you know, it's underneath an awning and stuff. So because my whole family's obsessed with tennis. Well, before that, I was, you know, like a ball boy for the RCA. It's if you don't know what it is, it's like Wimbledon or, you know, the French Open or the US Open, things like that. But it's like much smaller, but it's still on that level. And so we would get the Bjorn Borgs, the Yvonne Lindels, the John McEnroes, the Chris Evert Lloyds. We got all those people here, you know, back in the day. And who's the one that I really liked? The woman, I can't think of her name. But anyway, she later came out as a lesbian. Why can't Martina Navratilova, didn't she come out as a lesbian later? I think she did. So there were so many people that I just like loved, and we used to go like as ball boys, we used to get our ball boys and girls, but we used to get our, because you would walk around and you would have to wear the polo shirt that said like clay courts on it or whatever, and you had to get picked to do it. So you had to like, we had to play in championships or something. I can't remember how we got picked. Like there would be a championship, like there was like the clay courts and the RCA championship just for like ball boys and girls, and you had to play and you had to like rank in the top 20 to become one of us. So it's kind of like this honor thing, you know? And then we would get to wear, do you guys know what ball boys and girls are? So like you're on the side of the court, like there's one on either side of the net, and then like you like throw the player like the ball goes aside, or you catch the ball, and so then you keep it to yourself, and you have to be down like this and things, and then like run across the court during the break and stuff. So you're like on the court. It's really, really cool. I kind of forget about that sometimes. That was a really cool experience that I had when I was growing up. But the summers before that, I would go to Fort Wayne to my aunt's farm, and I would hang out there. And so, oh my God, some of the best days ever. Because since my dad and my mom were always so, well, my stepmom went too. So she and my dad didn't start dating until I was 10, and then they got married when I was 12. So I bet it was like 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12 that I was like a ball boy or girl. Because it's not like high school kids. There's actually high school kids that are like playing in these tournaments, you know? So I think it was like 10, 11, and 12. So that means it would have been like probably 5 to 10. Maybe it was like 4 or 5. Maybe it was 5 years that I would go up there during that week, because my dad and my mom and everybody would be playing. The one and only fight that my mom and my stepmom ever got in was actually there at that thing. They were like passing each other by, and like my mom had been there in the morning watching games with like my dad's partner's wife, and she was like coming, or she was leaving, and my stepmom was coming and like to watch with her sister, and they had like never publicly met. And so like my dad's partners, they had to like hand off like the badges or whatever to wear. And so when they started walking away, my mom said something under her breath, and my stepmom heard it, and they didn't get into like a shouting match or anything, but like my mom had some choice words or something like that. So anyway, what is this car coming up here? I'm vlogging, leave me alone, please. They're parking next to the other car that's parked in the parking lot. What is going on? Oh, I wonder if they're just driving them to their car or something. So anyway, that's probably what's going on. They're probably just driving to their car so they can leave. But I would go to Fort Wayne, and that's where my dad's whole family is from. And I would stay up there for a week. And oh God, I had so much fun. I had so much fun with my aunt. We just had a blast. She still lives up there on the farm. And my uncle has passed away. It's been several years now. And she was so good to me. And you know, like, I think a lot about this. I can remember when I was growing up, and you know, like, I came from a family that, I'm just gonna start driving because my stomach's starting to hurt again. Yeah, she was just letting somebody off. You know, I think a lot about this. I don't even like know really like what she would think of this. I mean, we've never really had this conversation, you know, or anything like that, but I've never said this to her. But you know, I was very accepted by my dad and my mom and my stepmom. Like, my sexuality was never an issue. I mean, it just literally was never an issue, especially with my dad and my stepmom. Like, my mom was always afraid for me, but like, it just, even then it wasn't. You know, my aunt and uncle, my Aunt Kathy and Uncle Dave, just, I mean, they were at my wedding. You know, they basically were representing my mom's side, and my dad gave me away, and I just feel so blessed for all of that. But you know, it even extends past that. I can remember, you know, like, my aunt and I, like, she let me, like, dance around and sing to, you know, country music with her. She loved Tammy Wynette. She probably still does. And she'd always ask me if I thought she looked like Tammy Wynette. And, you know, and, like, she would make me paper dresses. Like, she made me a paper wedding dress out of a newspaper one time, you know? I'm, like, 6. I had this picture, and it's me in this paper wedding dress. I mean, and nobody cared, you know? And it was just like, here I was, this kid that grew up that was so made fun of, but I had this aunt and this family that were just, you know, my Aunt Kathy was the same way, just so amazingly brilliant in accepting me for who I am. And I think, like, I honestly think that's what got me through my high school years, because I think if it wasn't, and junior high and elementary school too, that was sometimes even harder, but I think if it wasn't for that, you be who you want to be, but then I had to go to school, it was like, so it's kind of conflicting in my head of, well, who am I supposed to be? But like, I had so many people that were accepting and loving and kind to me and compassionate that it wasn't like this big deal, you know what I mean? Like, it was never made a big deal with anybody. Like, I don't remember anybody, like, seeing the picture of me in this wedding dress and freaking out. Like, that never happened. Like, my dad was like, oh, that's funny, you know, or whatever. And I don't remember making the wedding dress or anything. I will tell you this, though, that's interesting. It's her, and I was actually talking to my cousin about this. So, I don't know if I talked about this on here. This is kind of really sad. The nurse that I had, or the nurse that my dad had the whole time that I was growing up for like 20 years plus, who really kind of like, she took me to a lot of my appointments, and she took me to the airport when I would fly places and meet my dad when I was younger, and you know, a lot of situations I can remember. Like, I remember a horrible Christmas, the first Christmas after my parents got separated, and my mom was very intoxicated, and my dad had tried to be part of the whole situation, and it turned into this whole mess, and so everybody was like telling my dad to leave, and then everybody left, and it was basically me and my mom there, and my dad wasn't going to come back because, like, my mom was like, it was like she was not happy, like it was bad. And so, but my mom always liked my dad's nurse. She was like his right hand person, you know, because they did surgery together and stuff. And so she was a huge part of my life growing up. And she came that night, and she picked me up because I can remember her talking to my mom, because like my mom would listen to her, and you know, she talked to my mom. Like, I can remember like my aunt, I think my aunt stayed. Yeah, my aunt stayed, until like she came, and then I remember she came in and she was like, my mom was like furious and like, Peter's not gonna go anywhere, something, I don't know. I mean, this is like Christmas Day, it was bad. And she was like, talked to my mom and was like, you know, it would be better for him just to be away from this right now. You're very upset, like rightfully so. You know, I understand why you're hurt and upset. Because basically my mom got drunk and was like, to my dad, it's like, okay, you want to come over here and you want to play dad, but like, I feel like you know, my mom was hurt. She was still, you know, very much hurt. She loved my dad, you know? And so I remember I left with my dad's nurse and he took me to she took me to his apartment. And, but she was always that. Like, she was always so fantastic. And my mom loved her, too. But I found out that she passed away. She was really close with my cousin from this aunt who lives down here. They have some common, like, business. Because she, like, is out of surgery and stuff now. Like, she didn't do surgery for, like, the last probably 10 years, 15 years. So her business interacted with my cousin. But my cousin also knew her from growing up with my dad because she was always at all of our stuff, right? So I'm talking to my cousin, and because when all this was going on, I had just like reached out to my cousin one day. I can't remember why, but anyway, and so she was like, she was like, I said, I've been meaning to call your mom. And she was like, would you? She was like, she would just get such a kick out of that. And so I called and I talked to my aunt. We talked about all the old stuff, you know, like from me growing up and all all this funny stuff that happened in Fort Wayne. And I've told the story on here before about the motorcycle people that were in the driveway, which is a true story that nobody in our family believes. But I told we talked about all that stuff, and it was so good talking to her. And so then I ended up calling my cousin back to let her know that I had called her. I said, I just want to let you know I called her, you know, and she seems like she's doing great. And so we ended up talking on the phone, my cousin and I, for like an hour and a half. And she was telling me that my dad's nurse was really sick. So then I found out, like, she called me later and she was like, she's passed away. And so I called my dad thinking he would already know about it, and he didn't. He was really upset. He was like really, really upset about it. And so sad, but I would go to Fort Wayne all the time. All the time when I was growing up, and spend my summers there. I might have spent 2 weeks there. I was there actually when my grandfather passed away. And so my grandfather was a retired homicide detective. He solved the first major murder in, I think, Fort Wayne. And it was this woman that had killed her husband. He's apparently, my aunt said that the same aunt said he's on the cover of like True Crime. Can you believe that? And I love true crime and whatever. But he's on the cover of True Crime magazine, and she has a copy of it somewhere. I'd love to see that, being that I have a true crime book club, you know, and I'm so obsessed with all this stuff. My dad said that he would watch Perry Mason when he was in high school. They would watch Perry Mason together, and literally within like the first 10 minutes, my grandfather would like solve the whole case of watching this show. Isn't that so funny? The Raymond Burr show, you know, Raymond Burr that was in Rear Window. He was the killer in Rear Window. But anyway, I was there when my grandfather passed away, and I think I was 5 when he passed away. He was 74 and he had a massive heart attack. He was get up in the morning and he would go to breakfast with his friends, and he was coming back from breakfast and he was driving, and he and his friend was in the car. It was like one of those old cars, you know, how that had like one seat, you know, straight across. Do you guys remember those? My grandma, my mom's mom, had one of those too. My grandmother went to prison. And the investigation is still going on. I'm still looking for stuff. But anyway, he had one of those, and apparently he just like had like a massive heart attack and just like veered off the road, and like his friend like grabbed the wheel and like got him back on and then took him off the road so that they were safe. I mean, he was gone at that point. But and I remember it was like, you know, I stayed up there I think through all of it, because then my dad and my mom and everybody came up there. That was before my mom and my dad were separated, because that was in August, and it happened right around my dad's that was his 40th birthday. Would that make sense? Or would I have been 8? How old would I have been? My dad's gonna be 80 and I'm gonna be 48. So I would have been 8. I would have been 8 years old. And because then they came back and I remember, like, it was, you know, my grandfather was in World War II, and they did the whole, I mean, it was packed funeral, and he was like, you know, my grandfather supposedly, this is interesting too, because I love to play pool, and it's, actually, I never talk about this, but it's one thing that I'm really, really good at. I'm very good at pool. I have my own pool stick and everything. I haven't played in a long time, but, my grandfather was kind of a pool shark back in the day. Like, I guess my grandma didn't like him, like, going and playing pool and stuff like that, because he would, like, you know, play pool and bet and things like that. But I remember the funeral, and my dad's gotten really emotional through the years. Like, he just really opens up and is more emotional. But back then I can remember, like, maybe he was trying to hold it together or something for all of that. But, like, we went in the bathroom, and I remember he was, like, straightening my tie, and he just broke down. He just, like, completely lost it. And, started crying, and then, like, he sat there and cried for like 5 minutes in the bathroom and straightened my tie. And then we stood up. He just kind of, like, stood in the mirror and, like, looked at himself in the mirror. And then I remember he looked at me and he said, "This is just between you and I." He's like, "This is just between you and I, buddy," or something like that. Which is so weird, because that's, like, so not something that my dad would say. Like, he could care less if people see him crying. Like, honest to God. And I talk a lot about the eulogy that my dad gave at my Uncle Dave's funeral, and, you know, I still think about that, you know, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, my dad went over when my Uncle Dave was at the end, and at the end when my dad got up to, like, well, my dad had brought, like, a really, like, my Uncle Dave liked scotch, so my dad brought him, like, a really nice bottle of, some great bottle of scotch. My uncle said, no, he was like, Kathy liked the good stuff, so I learned to drink the cheap stuff years ago, or something like that. So you take it and you enjoy it, he said to my dad. And, so, anyway, so my dad went over and, like, he sat on the edge of the bed, and I just can't even imagine having this conversation with somebody, a friend of mine, you know. I cannot imagine having this conversation with Tanya. And my uncle looked up at him. My dad said, you know, Dave wasn't, like, a real huggy kind of person, so I didn't, like, hug him or anything. But, I mean, they had known each other, you know, for 40 years, something like that. No, longer. I mean, they'd known each other since they were kids, you know. 25 to 80, you know. So what? Almost 55 years. And my dad sat on the edge of the bed, and he looked at him, and Dave looked up at my dad, and he said, "We're never going to see each other again, are we?" My dad said, "No, I don't think so." I just can't even imagine that, you know, like, sometimes when I talk to my dad, you know, it's like, I think my dad will probably live to be long over 100. I really do, because his, you know, health and genes are so great. But it's like, I just, you know, like, and it's like talking to Susie and stuff too. It's like, I just can't even imagine, like, being, like, at that point. Like, and I'm not saying this, I'm sure there's people that watch this that are older, but it's like, I mean, we never know. We're all in borrowed time, right? We never know how long we're going to be here. But to kind of know that you're, like, at the you know, the final stages. I remember I said to my mom one time, I read this article, and it was like the 5 stages of a woman's life. And it was like, birth, it was some article that I had read, and it was like the physical 5 stages of a woman's life, and it was like birth, menstruation, childbirth, menopause, death. And she looked at me and she goes, "Well, I have 1 left, so thank you." And but you know, like, I can't imagine, you know, it's like both my dad and Susie talk about, like, how hard it is, like, when everybody that you've known in your life is, like, almost gone. Like, you know, it's like, And it's so weird too, because, you know, like, my stepmom is 20 years younger than my dad, so, like, they just seem so, like, young and alive. Okay, so it stopped. I have no idea where it stopped, to be honest with you. I just literally looked up, so I don't know if it just stopped or whatever. But I was talking about, like, being at, you know, kind of knowing, like, you know, my dad could live another 20 years, you know, but I think it's hard, you know, when you, I think it would be hard to start seeing, like, everybody that you know be, you know, gone and things like that, and I don't know. I can't really imagine, you know? I was just, like, sitting here and I was thinking to myself, how did it take me an hour? Because I, you know, filmed 2, like, clips of this now, which are 29 minutes and 59 seconds or something each. I was like, how did it take me an hour to get here? I was like, was I in a time warp or something? Didn't the B-52s have a song called Time Warp? But I was like, was I in a time warp? Did I get abducted by aliens? But I was like, oh, I sat in that parking lot and read for comments for a while. But not long, I don't think. So anyway, I love my aunt so much. And I'm so thankful for those summer memories that I had, you know, like just fantastic memories of going up there in the summer. She's actually the reason why, like, when I used to love Arby's, the restaurant, so much, and she was the one that, like, we would go through Arby's and we would get roast beef sandwiches. So my aunt, okay, she had this, like, side job. I was gonna say the side gig. She had this side job, right? And the side job was, because they were farmers, so they owned a farm, right? They still do. I think she leases it out or something now, but anyway. So she, tons and tons of farmland. Like, you cannot see another house from her house. And I'm just gonna tell this story because I haven't told it on here in a while, so maybe she'll watch it. So anyway, but she did this, she had this job where she would go and stock grocery stores, and it was like pins and pantyhose and this kinds of stuff, right? And so she would, like, go into the stores, like, late at night, and she, like, knew all the people that worked in the grocery store and stuff, so it was like after the stores were, like, not closed, but, like, nobody was there, right? And we would go in at, like, let's say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and she would stock these things. Like, I can remember her pulling out, like, the things at pantyhose, and she would say, you always put the, because I would help her, see? And she would say, you always put the new one, I love to help her. So she said, you always put the new ones in the back, right? So that way, the ones in front are the freshest, are like, you know, they've been recycled through. So, do you see this semi on my tail back here? It's like their lights and everything. So anyway, so we would do that, and we would do all that, but then we would, like, go get Arby's before, and I can remember, like, sitting in you know, we would drive through Arby's and get roast beef sandwiches and potato cakes and Jamocha shakes, and we would sit there and we would just sit in the parking lot and we would, like, eat and stuff like that. And so one weekend, okay, so this would have been, I should ask my cousin. I don't know how old she is. I should ask my cousin what year she graduated from high school, because I could tell you how old I was then. But the summer that my cousin that lives here in Indianapolis, that she went to IU, because she went to IU, like, in August. So I would have been coming up there, like, the end of August. This is when we didn't go to school till after Labor Day. So I would go up there, like, the 3rd week of August. Well, she had gone down to IU, like, the week before. So it was, like, my aunt and uncle, myself, and then my cousin that would have still been in high school. I think he would have been, like, a sophomore or a junior then. So, he helped his dad farm, and he, like, showed animals at the state fair and stuff like that. And that's when my mom would, like, take me to the state fair and all this kind of stuff, right? So one week when I was there, it was like the Three Rivers Festival is up in, like, you know, Fort Wayne area. And I think that's what it's called. Or Arcola Days, or some, she texted me something about that. So I think it's, like, something like that. But anyway, we didn't go to that. It was, like, this festival, and they went there and, like, they stayed for, like, 3 nights or something. I don't know if he was, like, showing animals or what they did, but they would, like, go up there and they would look at big tractors. They had these big tractors. I used to love to ride those with my uncle and stuff. But we would, but they went out of town. And so it was me and my aunt that weekend, just alone. Now, she's out in this house in the middle of nowhere, okay, with the interstate in the background and this gravel driveway that's literally probably, I mean, no lie, I mean, not a half a mile off the road, but I mean, it's long. I mean, you can see the house from the main road, but it's still a long way, this gravel driveway, right? And then to the left is the house, and it's like this one-story house, and then and she's got this whole pond and everything back there now that they had built, and they've got all kinds of stuff now. But when I was growing up, it was like the fields were on one side of the street, the house was on the other side of the street, and then they had fields behind the house, but they also had the huge barn where they kept the animals and the silo and all that kind of stuff, right? So, one night, I literally just told this not too long ago, we had gone and done this deal, we had eaten at Arby's or whatever, because I loved Arby's, and I can remember we would just sit in the car, and she had one of those, she has real short hair, and she had one of those like roller brush things, and she'd just like roll her hair back, and she'd sing to Tammy Wynette, and she'd say, do you think I look just like not Tammy Wynette, Tanya Tucker. She'd say, do you think I look just like Tanya Tucker? And my dad's side of the family calls me Pete, so she's like, Pete, do you think I look like Tanya Tucker? And she'd always sing me that Crystal Gale song, don't it turn your brown eyes blue, because my eyes are blue, you know? So anyway, which, by the way, I remember, bad story, but my old roommate, she and I that used to drink together a lot, one night we were watching, Crystal Gale, you know, had the hair that was down to her ankles or whatever. She had her hair, like, so we were watching like David Letterman or Johnny Carson or something drunk, and Crystal Gale was the guest, and she comes out, you know, like she walks out and her hair's like down to her. Do you know who Crystal Gale is? She's like Loretta Lynn's niece or something like that. But she sang that song, she's so pretty, she's real pretty. This story is like gone all over the place. But she used to sing that song, don't it turn your brown eyes blue, or something like that. I don't know what the song is. She has a couple of songs, like, I have one of her songs downloaded because I love the song. The other one is something about, have you been walking, you've been something in my dreams. Did you guys know that country song? I like love country music, first of all. Have you been visiting me? I don't know, it's not visiting, but it's something. But anyway, so my old roommate and I, we were sitting there and we were watching her up on this. My roommate's sitting there, okay? We're just wasted, and she's like smoking a cigarette and drinking this drink. She puts her drink down real seriously, and she goes, oh, because Crystal Gale, when she walks out, so she's got her hair down to her feet, right? And then when she sits down, she takes it around her head, and she like folds it in her lap. And so my roommate takes a sip of her drink, and she puts it down, and takes this deep drag off her cigarette. We're watching the show, right? She goes, you think Crystal Gale ever gets real drunk and forgets to put her hair in her lap and pees on her hair? We literally lost it. I swear to God, for days we were laughing so hard about that. Crystal Gale peeing on her hair. Oh my God, I had totally forgotten all about that. That is so funny. I don't know why I forgot about that. That would be the worst though, wouldn't it? So anyway, I wonder if Crystal Gale still has real long hair. I have to pull in here and see, because now I'm kind of like obsessed with knowing. Is she even still alive? I'll be real sad to know if she see, I'm talking about country music. Now I'm becoming kind of like talking. Anyway, I just need to stop. So I'm gonna tell the story about my aunt here in just a second and what happened to us. God forbid I don't tell the story the same way twice, by the way, so. That's what happens when you're old and you're revisiting memories. Okay, let's see. Let's look up Crystal Gale. Where's she at these days? I hope she's okay. I'll be devastated if she's dead. Crystal Gale. Lord God, I need my glasses. The third thing that came up was, oh, the battery's gonna die. Hold on a second. Okay. I literally put my phone down and was changing the battery, and as I did, I remembered the song. I don't know how, I swear I didn't look it up, but the song is, I think the lyric is, you've been talking in your sleep. Something like that. Basically saying another lady's name while he's asleep. That's not very nice, is it? That's bad. You've been talking in your sleep. I love country music. Do you love country music? It is so good. If you don't love country music, what's wrong with you? I used to say when I was growing up I hated country music, but I love it. But anyway, we'll find out about Crystal Gayle here in her hair in just a second. She's 69 years old. She was born in Paintsville, Kentucky. She's been married since 1971 to Bill Gatsmus. Loretta Lynn is her sister. Oh my lord, didn't know. Okay. But she's on Twitter. It's got her here on Twitter. I didn't know Crystal Gayle had a Twitter. Is Crystal Gayle hair still long? Yes, hair is still long, but that's just a small aspect of country great Crystal Gayle's massive story. This was from 2015. Just last year, she told Billboard magazine that she is in the studio working on a new album of some of her favorite country songs. Oh, that would be good. Did it ever come out, I wonder? Okay, I just have to read you this. I put in Crystal Gayle hair, and this is what came up. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Crystal Gayle hair 2020, Crystal Gayle hair now, Crystal Gayle hair length 2019, Crystal Gayle haircut, Crystal Gayle hair care, Crystal Gayle hair length, and Crystal Gayle hair real. It's real, okay? You guys, it's not fakes, okay? But let's see what it's like now. Oh, she still got it! She does, my lord. Oh my god, I cannot even hardly believe it. But this is back in the day. Can you guys even see it? Oh, you can see it. It just looks like a horse mane. Look at that. It's so long. She still has it though. I can't believe it. Why don't they have a full-length picture of her here so you can see? They do. They do on Pinterest. All I can think about is my roommate saying something about her. Look at that hair! Oh my god, look at that hair! Oh my god, I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard. What is this? She cut her hair? Oh no, she received a star on Hollywood. When was this? And she can't get her hair out of her face. Look at this. She can't pull her. Why is that so funny to me? I don't know why. I love you, Crystal Gayle. Okay, I went into this whole thing and we're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on now, okay? So anyway, back to the story about my aunt. So, you know, we had done like the grocery shopping stocking thing that night. It's stocking the grocery stores, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then I could see her like in my head, like carrying the boxes around from like aisle to aisle. And then we, so after we did that, like before or after we ate at the Arby's, because you know I love the Arby's, and well I did, there's nothing for me there anymore. So anyway, because well, mozzarella sticks and stuff like that, but, and Jamocha shakes, and I did a review there of root beer floats. The root beer floats were not very good though. So anyway, but I would like a good root beer float this summer, maybe from Dog and Suds or something like that. Does anybody know where has a really good, I bet Dairy Queen would have a really good root beer float. I didn't even think about that. So anyway, afterwards, we were going home. I don't know what time it was, but it was late at night. And we were coming up on her driveway, and there were all these motorcycle people that were like on their motorcycles being real loud in the driveway. And she didn't know who they were, and she got real scared. And so she even told me like to get down and stuff. So she just kept on driving by the house like it wasn't our house. And then she like went down and she like turned around and she was like, I'm gonna go back again. I think we drove around for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then like she came back and we drove back down the street again. I can remember like peeking out the window and seeing all these people, and they were like in their driveway and stuff. And my aunt was like scared, and she was like, we're not going back there tonight. And we went to my grandma's house and we slept at my grandma's house. I can remember sleeping on the couch at my grandma's house, and Well, when I would stay up there and I would stay at my grandma's house, like if my dad and I would go up there, he'd sleep on the couch and I'd stay in the guest bedroom. But for some reason, I remember that night sleeping on the couch. I don't remember why. My grandma used to keep this old, like, sewn bag, and it had all these cards in it. And the next cousin up from me, like the next oldest one, she and I would play postman because my grandma had this front door that had the mail slot in it. Do you guys remember that? Mail slots and front doors? And so we would, one of us got to be the mail. This is when we were real young. I don't know how I remembered this, but one of us got to be the mailman, and the other one like got to get the mail, and then we got real excited about it, and then we would put like mail through the slot and stuff like that. I can remember we'd be like, why did I only get one letter? Because nobody likes you. So stupid. But anyway, all my grandma's old cards and stuff she put in this bag just for she and I, because she and I were the only ones that would play it. And my grandma, like when I was coming up there, she knew. My grandma was, on my dad's side, oh my God, she was such a good cook. She was such a fantastic cook. And, you know, she was German on that side. So she, like, they had come over here, like her great grandparents had come over here from Germany or something. And so my grandma, like, she could make all these like German meals, and oh God, they loved, what was that stuff that my dad, he still loves it to this day. Oh, that Braunschweiger stuff. I don't like that. But anyway, I can smell it. Like sitting here, I can like smell it. And so anyway, my dad still loves that today. Back in the day, my dad liked that. I mean, he's always loved like nicer things too, like pate and stuff like that. He's not a caviar person, but he loves pate. The pate is very similar to like that Braunschweiger stuff. And oh, my dad loves ham salad from the grocery store too. I don't understand that. So anyway, that pink ham salad, no ma'am. My dad will literally just put it on a bread, like 2 pieces of bread, and make a sandwich out of it. He also loved those kipper snacks, and he would just eat them on saltines. You know the little cans that you roll back of like the sardines? He would just eat them on saltines. And then he also, I can remember though, like my dad and I, like when we would like be driving places, we'd always get those. Tanya loves these Slim Jims, and so we would eat Slim Jims, and then when we would go to the boat in Michigan in the summers, we would eat cold hot dogs. I don't know why I remember that. Those long pretzel sticks, my dad probably has eaten more pretzels in his lifetime than anybody else on the face of the earth. Like, true story. My dad loves those. You know those hard pretzels, those big, like they're like this big? He loves hard pretzels, and then he loves the pretzel sticks, and then the little pretzels, you know, the little ones, he like takes cheese and he cuts up like a slice of cheese, like, you know, like a bar of cheese. Like he loves the pepper jack cheese. I do too. And the jalapeno and all that stuff, the spicy ones. He'll like cut a piece of cheese, and then he'll like cut it into thirds, and then he'll put like a small piece on the cheese. And that's how I had to do it growing up too, because I loved it like that, you know. So my dad, he has like one of those things in his kitchen that's like filled with pretzels. He loves pretzels so much. But anyway, yeah, we stayed at my grandma's house that night, and we were so scared. We were scared to go back the next day and everything. I can remember, but my uncle was coming back, I think, the next day or something. And, you know, nobody ever believed us. To this day, nobody believes us. I think we made the whole thing up. Like, yeah, why? But we didn't. We didn't make the whole thing up. But I can remember my grandma and my aunt talking about it in the kitchen, and I was supposed to be sleeping on the couch, but I wasn't. I was listening to the whole thing, because I don't know what they were saying. It's been so long. But I do remember that. And I felt real safe and cozy at my grandma's house. But I always felt real safe at my aunt's house too. And I can tell you, she and my Uncle Dave are the reasons why I sleep with a fan. Oh, this is what I was going to say, you know, an hour ago or something. But they're the reasons I sleep with a fan, because when I would go there in the summer, they didn't have centralized air. So they would, I don't think they did or something. I was talking to my cousin about this the other day. She's like, oh my God, I forgot all about that. So maybe it was like one summer or something that their air was out or something. I don't know what she told me when I was talking to her on the phone. But they would actually put fans in the window so that it pulled in the air from the window, you know, outside, like, excuse me, when it would get cool at night. But Indiana summers back in the day, I mean, it seems like the heat is kind of like that this summer. This might be a really hot summer. But back in the day, we would have like, August would be like 90 to 100 degrees. Really, really, really hot. And, I mean, like, it's going to be 90 this week, but it's not like, it's not humid here yet. It's not super, I mean, it has been a couple nights, but not really, like super humid back in the day, right? So, yeah, so anyway, but nobody ever believed us about that story. who cares? It happened. She and I both know it happened. So, yep, that's it. But I used to love to go up there in the summers. Oh, but my grandma, she used to make, my cousin and I were just talking about this. She used to make, like, all of our favorites. So for whoever was coming over, what grandkid. I think my other cousin, next up from me, she loved Jell-O, because, like, there'd be, like, these, she had these little plastic cups that were kind of like, I don't know how to explain them. They kind of looked like saucers, but they were, like, you know, more depth than a saucer. And she would make my cousin Jell-O. I liked Jell-O, but I wasn't, like, a huge Jell-O, you know, cubed Jell-O. I liked Jell-O, but I wasn't a huge Jell-O fan. Or did she just fill it up in the thing and then just, like, I think you just fill it, she just fill it up and you ate it out there. I don't think it was cubes. Maybe I'm thinking of, like, MCL as cubes. Well, like, you know, the cafeteria. But I liked chocolate pudding, and my grandma would make chocolate pudding, and I can remember I would eat one, and I'd be like, Grandma, can I have another chocolate pudding? And she'd say, sure, sweetie. And then my grandma made the best Rice Krispie treats in the entire world from homemade, okay? I mean, the best. And she would put them in, like, a container, like a, you know, plastic container or whatever, and then she would take old pantyhose so they didn't, like, you know, it didn't come open, and she would tie it with old pantyhose. My cousin and I were talking about that. She brought it up. I was like, oh my God, that is so funny that you remember that, because I remember that too. She remembers a lot. I mean, the different side of the family, but my cousin Caroline, she didn't remember anything. But my other cousin, she remembers a lot. So anyway, we were like the younger cousins. Like that side of my family has like I have older cousins, because my dad's brother got married when my dad was, his first child when my dad was in, like, high school, like young high school, I think. Maybe he was a senior, I don't know. But so, you know, like, my dad graduated from high school in, like, 58 or 59. So that's when my first, so there's like a 20 year difference. 58 to, yeah, 15 to 20 year difference between me and, like, oh, it's gotta be more than that. He's got to be older than that. He's got to be more than 20 years older than me. Can he be? No. Because that would mean he's almost 70. Yeah, probably 15, 20 years. There's a lot of cousins in there because there's, you know, 5 siblings. So, but yeah. My dad and his brothers and sisters, well, his brothers passed, but when they would all get together and tell stories from when they were growing up as kids, it was hilarious to hear these stories. Because, I mean, my dad loves that movie, Christmas Story, because he's like, that's exactly how I grew up. And that movie takes place in northern Indiana, which is where my dad grew up. And so, well, Fort Wayne, but it's kind of similar to that, he would say. And, so, like, but all, like, the school buildings and, like, if you've seen the movie, like, where the Red Ryder BB gun and all that kind of stuff, and the one part where the kid is, like, daring the other kid to, like, put his tongue on the flagpole and then it gets stuck. Like, I can remember my dad telling me, like, that's really, like, you know, how it was, and we would go to the movies and it would cost this much for all these shows on a Saturday and whatever, and he'd get, like, one tall bottle of pop at the beginning of a week, they each would, and then, like, that had to last, like, the whole week and stuff like that. And it's just, like, all these stories they would tell us about when they were growing up, and because they were so poor. My dad's family was, like, so poor. And my dad, okay, so one of my aunts found an article recently that was in the paper from the year that my grandfather went in the military. So my grandma got pregnant right before my grandfather went to World War II, and he was stationed in Germany. And so there's, like, somebody, like, asked for my aunt. I don't know, she got some kind of, like, deal because it was, like, written up. It was, like, a big deal. She got, like, this grant or something because she had 5 kids and she was under the age of, like, 30, and she was, like, her spouse was in the military, and so she got some, like, stipend grant or something. And you guys, it was literally like they showed, my dad was telling me about it, but like they had showed me something before, but then my dad was like, oh no, like they found this article or something that says, you know, everything about her and everything in it. It was like this big deal when it happened in Fort Wayne. But she got something like, it was like $5 a week or something like that. It was like her stipend grant. You think about that, like, you know, like, I don't know, it's just crazy when you think about that. In like the early 40s, you know? $5 wouldn't get you very far these days. So anyway, all right, I think I'm gonna stop now, and I'm going to, oh my God, it's later than I thought. I vlogged longer than I thought I was going to. I always do that. But driving around's kind of helped my stomach, and my head still hurts a little bit, but not as bad as it did before. So thank you guys. This has kind of helped me a little bit to get out of my head and maybe laugh and tell some stories. Has kind of helped. So, all right, I'm gonna get off here now, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and leave a comment in the comment section below if you so choose, even if it's just a blue heart for the OG Wolfpack. That's all of us over here that are just trying to get by one day at a time, putting some positivity out there in the world, you know, trying to be kind to one another and nice to one another. And yeah, and is there anything else I say at that part? I'm starting to forget my outro. You guys are like, great. If you want me to come up with a new outro, please put that in the comment section below, and I will. Or I'll switch it up from time to time. So anyway, yeah, but thank you for watching it. I really appreciate it. And make sure that you're still subscribed to my channel if you have been, and if you weren't before, then please think about subscribing to my channel. And yeah, and I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday. I can't believe it's the weekend already. I completely forgot tonight was Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans, which means make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. Start a new book, start a new movie, start a new TV show, whatever. Just do something fun. And also do something, craft, you know, maybe. I don't know. And do something that's one step, one even small step towards the life of your dreams that you want, this dream life that you imagine. What's one thing you can do today that will, excuse me, that will put you into the path of your dreams? I don't know why all of a sudden, maybe it's allergies, I'm starting to cough. But anyway, that will put you in the path of your dreams. And also do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it, whether that's tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month or next year or 10 years or 20 years or 50 years or 60 years or 69 years or 80 years or 88 years or 100 years or 110 years or 69 years, family friendly. Or 150 if you're still here, but I doubt any of us will be. That's kind of a sad reality, isn't it? Anyway, so that means we have to enjoy the time that we are here. I got off on a tangent again, and I'm trying to end this video, okay? But anyway, okay? If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single night before you go to bed, and you say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation like, you are valuable. And every morning when you get up, every morning, look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation like, you are valuable. But it could be anything. It could be 10 or 15 if you want it to be. It could be 20 or 50. And yeah, and every night before you go to bed, say to yourself, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. I'm going to dance, I'm going to sing, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to hang out with my friends, I'm going to eat good food, I'm going to make the most of my day and really, really enjoy it. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way. I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track, I can start my day over whenever I want. You know, well, I can. Well, I can start my day over whenever I want. And when you get up in the morning, say to yourself, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And I'm going to, you know, dance and sing and shout if I have to. And I'm going to eat great foods and hang out with people that I love, or spend some time alone if I want. You know, I can do that any day that I want, because I need some time alone. We all need some time alone, you know? And yeah, and I'm gonna have great opportunities come my way, and I'm gonna have positive experiences all day long. And if something gets me off track, if, you know, I start going in the wrong direction and I have a negative day, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just reach out to them and say, hey, I just want to let you know I was thinking of you. You mean the world to me. Or just check in with somebody and say, hey, just want to check in. How you doing? You know, it's just not that deep. And can be just a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. That's it. Just text them. Hey, how are you? Was thinking of you. And I think sometimes we don't do that, and it's so easy to do that and make somebody's day. And every time somebody does that to me, it really means a lot. And so we should do it more. I should do it more. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And also practice random acts of kindness. But like I always say, don't tell anyone. Don't. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. We don't need to tell anybody. Just do it. You know what I mean? And because it's the good thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Just, you know, just do those things. And the more we practice it, the more it just becomes secondhand nature. And then we're doing random acts of kindness for people all the time. So without even thinking about it at some point. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you are having an amazing Saturday, like I said. And I will be back tomorrow. I love you. And is that it? I love you guys. I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! So I just pulled into the gas station to go inside and use the restroom. And I came outside and I thought to myself, you know what? Why don't I just come back and give them one more I love you for the evening and to say goodbye again. And I just want to say, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. I had fun reading your comments tonight, and I promise you in the next couple days I will do a driveway vlog because I know that people are asking for that. So one more I love you. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.